A report claims that Tottenham are working on an ambitious Sandro Tonali deal as De Zerbi targets a midfield statement signing. Tottenham Hotspur boss Roberto De Zerbi has reportedly decided that Udogie remains a key part of his plans, with the Italian coach keen to retain the left-back despite attracting interest from a number of Serie A sides. And former Spurs midfielder Danny Murphy has endorsed Tottenham's signing of Senesi, suggesting the Argentine defender has the attributes needed to step into the void should Cristian Romero depart the club this summer. Here are your daily Tottenham news headlines. Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name's Craig and here are your daily Tottenham news headlines where I'll be going through all the latest news, rumours and reports. If you're watching on YouTube and are not already as yet subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Like, share and comment below, and if you're listening on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can, and please make sure you turn on the notification bell so you get notified whenever we go live or upload a video to the channel. Okay, let's get into it. Tottenham Hotspur have reportedly entered the race to sign Newcastle United midfielder Sandro Tonali, with new head coach Roberto De Zerbi identifying his fellow Italian as a key target in his plans to rebuild the club. According to reports from Fabrizio Romano, De Zerbi sees Tonali as the ideal player to become the focal point of Spurs midfield and help elevate the quality of the squad ahead of next season. The report from Give Me Sport claims that Tottenham have already begun working behind the scenes on a potential deal, although no formal negotiations with Newcastle United have been confirmed as yet. Spurs are understood to view the 26-year-old as a marquee signing who would signal the club's ambition under their new manager. However, any move is expected to be extremely difficult. Tottenham face competition from several Premier League heavyweights, including Manchester City and Arsenal, both of whom have also been linked with the Italy international. Reports suggest that Spurs are prepared to challenge those rivals despite the financial and sporting obstacles involved. Tonali remains one of Newcastle's most valuable assets. The midfielder enjoyed another strong campaign at St James's Park, making 53 appearances in all competitions and contributing 3 goals and 7 assists. His performances have reinforced his reputation as one of Europe's leading deep-lying playmakers. The report notes that Newcastle would be reluctant to part ways with Tonali and would likely demand a huge transfer fee. Various reports have been valued the midfielder between 80 million and 100 million, making any potential deal for Spurs difficult. There is also uncertainty over whether Tonali would be willing to choose Spurs if rival clubs make offers. Recent reports have suggested the player has previously been open to remaining at Newcastle and has also been linked with a return to Italy, particularly former club AC Milan. Nevertheless, De Zerbi is believed to be pushing strongly for the transfer, convinced that Tonali possesses the technical quality, tactical intelligence and leadership required to transform Tottenham's midfield. The move would represent one of the most ambitious statements of the De Zerbi era so far, if Spurs can somehow win what is shaping up to be a fierce transfer battle. Give Me Sport claim that Tottenham Hotspur boss Roberto De Zerbi has reportedly made a firm decision over the future of Udogie, with the Italian coach determined to keep the left-back despite growing interest from Serie A clubs. According to the report, both Juventus and Fiorentina have made inquiries about the 23-year-old defender ahead of the summer transfer window. Speculation over Udogie's future has intensified following Tottenham's signing of veteran left-back Andy Robertson, leading to suggestions that Spurs could be open to cashing in on the Italy international. However, De Zerbi is said to have quickly shut down any prospect of a sale. The former Brighton manager has been impressed by Udogie since arriving in North London and views him as an important part of his long-term plans. Tottenham's hierarchy are also understood to share that view and have no intention of actively listening to offers. The report suggests that De Zerbi sees Udogie as a player capable of thriving in the system due to his athleticism, attacking qualities and ability to contribute in possession. Despite an injury-disrupted campaign, the defender remains highly regarded within the club and is expected to compete with Robertson rather than be replaced by him. The report concludes that despite transfer rumours linking him with a return to Serie A, Tottenham have made their stance clear. Udogie is not for sale, and De Zerbi considers him as an integral part of the club's rebuilding project. And Team Talk state that former Liverpool midfielder and pundit Danny Murphy has backed Tottenham's move for Marcos Senesi, outlining why the Argentine could prove an ideal replacement should Christian Romero leave the club this summer. According to the report, uncertainty continues to surround Romero's future, with the World Cup winner attracting interest from abroad and Tottenham preparing contingency plans in the event of his departure. Senesi has emerged as one of the club's preferred options after completing a free transfer move from AFC Bournemouth. Murphy highlighted Senesi's composure in possession, reading of the game and leadership qualities as key attributes that will make him well suited to Roberto De Zerbi's style of football. The former midfielder believes the defender's ability to play out from the back and remain calm under pressure could make him a natural fit in a team expected to dominate possession. The article also points to Senesi's impressive Premier League pedigree. During his 4 years at Bournemouth, the Argentine established himself as one of the division's most consistent centre-backs, helping the Cherries keep 11 clean sheets last season while playing a major role in their strong campaign. Murphy is said to have praised Senesi's aggressive defending, aerial strength and experience, arguing that while he may not replicate every aspect of Romero's game, he offers reliability and maturity that could prove invaluable as Tottenham continue their rebuild under De Zerbi. The report concludes that Tottenham view Senesi as far more than a squad player, having already secured his arrival on a free transfer. Spurs believe the 29-year-old can provide immediate quality and leadership, while Murphy feels his blend of defensive intelligence and technical ability makes him a strong candidate to fill any void left by Romero should the Argentine captain depart this summer. Okay, here's my thoughts on those stories today. Firstly, this Tonali rumour, as first mentioned by Fabrizio Romano, has kind of come out of nowhere, as these things tend to do. A bit like the Udogie deal the other year, that came out of nowhere, didn't it? But it seems like, well, the Udogie one was nearly over the line when that got leaked, and this one is obviously in its early stages. But it just goes to show, are Spurs doing things differently this summer already, going in for players like Sandro Tonali? I think Tonali's a wonderful player. Could really boost Spurs midfield, and it would definitely be an upgrade in that position. Deep line playmaker, can also chip in with a few goals. Definitely more progressive passing than somebody like Paulinho, but I still think there's a place for somebody like Paulinho in this team. Tonali would be a brilliant addition to that. The player is going to be costing Spurs, you would think, approaching £100 million, as mentioned in the report there. But perhaps they'll be able to get him for about 80. But he's not going to come cheap. But this type of player, this type of deal is the one that Spurs need to be doing this summer. It's got to be different. How many times have we said it before? It's got to be different. It's pointless just getting to a point where Johan Langer comes out the end of the window and says, we tried to sign Tonali, but we couldn't get it over the line. The big clubs get this type of deal over the line. They get it done. They identify a player and they get the deal done. The likes of Man City, the Liverpools, that mob down the road. If they want a player, they just go and get him and they pay the money. The wages shouldn't be an issue either, but it's just paying the money. It's the value of the player to the selling club. We all know that. So if Spurs want Tonali, if Roberto De Zerbi wants Tonali, just go and get him and go and pay the money and don't faff about like we normally do. Let's see how this one pans out. The story about Destiny Udogie, seems like Roberto De Zerbi has firmly shut any rumours down about Udogie leaving this summer. It's clear that he rates the left back. He wants him and Robertson to compete for that left back role, which is brilliant in football. You always hear those those quotes, don't you? It's a nice problem to have, or two decent quality left backs competing for the same role. It can only be a good thing. Udogie, injury hit season a bit last season, no real long run in the side because of that. Hit and miss, of course, but I think there is a player in destiny, Udogie. His forward runs are brilliant. He can defend very well at times, and with Robertson pushing him, you would think that that's a pretty good match up there at left back to compete for the left back slot. I'm happy that Roberto De Zerbi's come out and said that. I think Udogie's got a very high ceiling. I don't think we've seen the best of Destiny Udogie, but hopefully De Zerbi can get that out of him. And finally, the report from Danny Murphy stating about how good Senesi is, basically, is what he was saying. He's and that we shouldn't be worried if Christian Romero departs Tottenham this summer. I do agree with this. Senesi, obviously, his stats speak for himself that I mentioned there. He's calm on the ball, a good progressive passer. It seems like Spurs are really looking at that back line, or have been looking at that back line this summer already, and have made the moves. And, you know, if Van Hecker comes in, I don't think we should be too disappointed if Romero heads out. Obviously, nothing's been done yet anyway. Could it be that a situation where Romero stays, and then you've still got Van Hecker, Senesi, Danzo, Van der Ven? We seem to have a glut of centre-backs. You'd think something would have to happen, and the club are probably aware that Romero is going to be leaving this summer. It just nothing been agreed yet, so it wouldn't be obviously a surprise to any of us should Romero head out this summer. We've kind of been expecting it, so especially if this Van Hecker deal gets over the line as well. But going back to Senesi, I agree with what Danny Murphy said there. I don't think we've got any worries with that. It's a player that knows the Premier League, has played in the Premier League, and that's what we've been asking for years, isn't it? Premier League proven at a certain age, and that seems to be the road Spurs are going down now. And kind of leading back to the first story, you know, with Tonali, if those rumours are true, and we actually managed to get this one over the line, it does feel slightly different. But let's face it, it's got to be different this summer, hasn't it? Because we can't be in that position again like we were last season, 17th, horrible position to be in. That's all from me today. Get down in the comments, let me know how you're feeling as a Tottenham Hotspur fan right now. And as always, come on you Spurs.